Welcome into Got It Covered NFL Playoffs Edition. Giovanni Heater alongside Raza Umarani with you. And, buddy, we got a lot to talk about. The NFL playoffs are finally here. It is wild card weekend. We got football on Saturday. We got football on Sunday. We got football on Monday night. That doesn't even mention the college football playoffs on Thursday and Friday. That doesn't even mention if you're a college hoops fan. You got Tuesday, Wednesday. You got the following Tuesday. We got like 8 straight days of sports. It is some of my favorite sporting moments of the year coming up this week, wild card weekend. And I'll tell you what, for this being a playoff that a lot of people are saying, okay, on the AFC side of things, no Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrow. Does it have the juice? Does it this? Does it that? First of all, if you look at the teams, it feels a whole lot like 2012, 2013, 2014, right? But beyond that, I think matchup-wise, for a wild card weekend, flip a coin with, most of these games, if not all of them. We're going to have some cinema this weekend on the football field.
Yeah, lot of close games. This was usually wild card weekend is like where you trim the fat, and it's like, okay, the teams that aren't supposed to be here, they get out of here. I always contend that divisional weekend is the best weekend of the NFL calendar, because you got pretty much consistently the 8 best teams going at it. You get 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. But wild card weekend is like trimming the fat doesn't have to be unfun. Wild card weekend can be a ton of fun. Last year, wild card weekend kind of sucked. I'm pretty sure there was only like one possession game in wild card weekend last year. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think there's going to be a ton of close games. I think, like you said, it could go any which way. You could flip a coin for each of these games. It's going to be unpredictable. It's going to be fun. Narratives will be made. Narratives will be shattered. So even with the lack of your proverbial or like maybe usual stars out here, there's still plenty of juice and plenty of storylines. It's going to be wide the heck open. And also, I just got to say something really quickly.
Let's hear it.
This is year 3 in a row with no Joe Burrow or the Bengals in the playoffs. So when people always say like, oh, there's no Joe Burrow, I'm like, that's normal. They had 2 years where they went to the Super Bowl and they went to the title game. That's it. Like, with all due respect, this Burrow's been in the league for 6 years. 4 of them, he's missed the playoffs. I know it's not his fault.
Oh, he gets hurt.
Entirely. He does get hurt. He does get hurt. But I'm just saying, like, no Bengals. I'm like, I can live without that. I would want to see Lamar and Mahomes, and I want to see Burrow. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I've gotten used to it personally. It's not like Mahomes missing the playoffs when he's made the AFC Championship game.
That was an anomaly. That was very bizarre. And I'll tell you, let me say this. You know I'm a Mahomes hater. Is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I was like, don't sugarcoat it.
But Tom Brady never missed the playoffs, except the year he tore his ACL week 1.
Yeah,
Tom Brady never missed the playoffs. Yeah.
But they were on their way out.
They were on their way. Don't get me going, bro. As soon as I saw him go down with that, I was like, oh, here, let this be the narrative. 20 years from now, people are gonna be like, well, he tore his ACL. Like my guy, it was cooked.
They were done regardless. Yeah,
it was cooked.
Yeah, but and granted, the sport is like better when these stars are in, but it's still going to be a lot of fun regardless. Some fresh blood.
Yeah, it's outstanding. And Josh Allen, who doesn't love the playoffs when Josh Allen's out there? Let's go game by game here. We'll start on the AFC side of things. This is probably the second most quote unquote lopsided matchup. Vegas doesn't find it to be all that lopsided, though. You got the 4 seed Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, the missed field goal by the rookie kicker for the Ravens allowed the Steelers to get in. Heck of a Sunday night football game. Martin Scorsese had his hands up, calling it absolute cinema after the ball game. No question about it. Awesome football game. So the Steelers are in. The Ravens are out. They play Houston in Pittsburgh. How about that? It's going to be 8:15 on the 12th on ABC. So we got Monday Night Football between the Steelers and the Houston Texans. What do you think there?
Somebody tweeted, "This is fantastic. Like some Pittsburgh streak will be broken because they've not won a playoff game since 2016. Their last playoff win was the 2016 divisional. They have not lost a home Monday Night Football game since the turn of the century. Did you know that?
That's insane.
It's like 20 something straight wins at home on Monday Night Football. That's an
Wow.
absurd number. Like, we've not been alive for a Steelers home Monday night playoff loss. Now, playoffs are a little different, don't get me wrong. And they're facing the team I would certainly among the wild cards in both conferences that you just do not want to face.
No.
Because in the playoffs, you need good defense. Defense is
Houston
typically the
gives it
common
to you.
denominator, and defense is Houston's bread and butter. They probably have either the first or second best defense in the NFL, certainly the best defense in the AFC, and the best defense in these playoffs, because the second best defense in the AFC is probably Cleveland, and they're nowhere close to the playoffs. So,
Right.
but you combine that with the fact that they've got a guy in CJ Stroud who has won a playoff game in each of his first 2 seasons. They have pretty good emerging young offensive talent. Jaden Higgins has been huge for them in the last few weeks. Nico Collins is obviously a stud. Dalton Schultz is good. Woody Marks has had a really good rookie season as well. I think Pittsburgh's got this like sense of belief now, that they've kind of been missing, because they've had such bad quarterback play since Ben Roethlisberger retired, and even in the last couple of years of Ben Roethlisberger's career.
Yeah.
Rodgers has kind of lifted them up a little bit, even though they lack a ton of offensive talent. I just worry about that defense, man, and like their defensive line should feast on Houston's offensive line, but Houston's offensive line's not been playing as badly as we expect them to lately. And I just think Stroud's like been good in the playoffs. If he keeps the ball out of harm's way, which was a problem in his against the Chargers in that game that they still won because he made those 2 great throws at the start of the game. Like, I just like Houston's winning formula a lot more than Pittsburgh's. And like, I know it's crazy to think that like Pittsburgh's going to lose a home Monday night game for the first time in however long, but
I don't think that has any like.
I know
Stats like
I
that
know.
are silly.
I know, but still, it's an absurdly long winning streak. You can't
Sure.
deny that. But I think Houston's a better team with a better quarterback that's playing better ball, has a better winning formula. I mean, dude, they started 0-3 and they finished the year 12-2. You don't want to play these guys. You just don't.
Well, there's no way they. Oh, you mean okay? Yeah, I hear you. Thought you meant their final record was 12-2. I was like, that's impossible.
No, I'm saying they went 12-2 down the stretch.
Yeah. I'm taking Houston as well. Rodgers is going to give them a shot. Don't get me wrong on the Pittsburgh side of things, but you combine the fact that this defense, particularly the pass rush ability that this Houston Texans team has up front, mixing that with Stroud playing good football as of late, I'm taking Houston. I'm almost surprised that they're not. Let's put it this way. I think Pittsburgh is getting 3 points for being at home. I thought this would be close to a touchdown game if they were playing in Houston.
Oh, if they were playing in Houston would be a massive favorite. Yeah.
And it's only a 3-point spread.
This is Vegas telling you that Houston would be a 6-point favorite on a neutral site.
Right.
If not more, because playing in Pittsburgh is more like a 3.5-point home field advantage, and it is a 3-point home field advantage. This would be closer to a touchdown on a neutral site. It'd be closer to 10 points in Houston for sure.
So there you go. Which is valid though. Pittsburgh's one of those places,
It is.
It's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be
tough to kick there. Just ask Kyler Loop.
It is tough to kick there. The wind, they say it swirls. If I had $1 every time I've heard that though.
About Heinz Field.
Yeah. Acrisure Stadium.
Oh yeah, I forgot. No one's calling them that.
Right.
We dead name Heinz Field in this house.
There we go. How about we go to the NFC side of things? We got Panthers Rams in the 4-5 game. The Panthers are hosting a playoff game, man. Mm-hmm. Keep pounding, baby. Anish Shroff, turn us up.
Yeah, true. Cam Newton's going to be there pounding the drum. Bang, bang, bang.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be fire.
So it is pretty cool. Good for the boys. It's crazy that I picked the Bucks as my 1 seed in the NFC. And here they are, not only not winning the division, but not making the postseason at all. And the Panthers are going to the playoffs. So good for Bryce Young and co. They have had some really significant improvements this year. I like their run game as well on the offensive side of things. But
they have to bring back Rico Dowdle.
They have
to bring back Rico Dowdle.
They have to. The Rams, though, man. Matt Stafford's playing awesome football on the year. Down the home stretch, a little up in the air. Can they turn it back on for the playoffs here? I think they can. I mean, Sean McVay's a brilliant coach. I think they have the studs to do it. They're 10.5-point favorites, which just feels like for a playoff game, it's so big.
On the road too.
I buy it though. I honestly do, man. I
Yeah.
do. I think the Rams are. I got like 3 teams that I'm kind of tossing up in the air on the NFC side of things for going to the Super Bowl, and the Rams are right there at the top of that list.
I don't care that the Panthers beat the Rams earlier this season. That was like a perfect storm. Everything had to go right for the Panthers to win that game. Mike Jackson pick 6. Bryce Young 4th down. He's actually been really good. Him and JC Horn are a good duo. Bryce Young 4th down touchdown to Ted McMillan. I mean, Bryce played fantastic in that game, but and honestly, on the injury side of things, Los Angeles is kind of going like this, and the Panthers kind of going like this. I think it could be closer than people think, but my gut tells me that Carolina's going to get slaughtered, and I think the sharp play is Carolina in the points, but I'm nowhere near taking Carolina to win the game. But Bryce Young first playoff game, I'm really excited to watch, man. Are we going to get the Bryce Young that we've seen against like the Packers or against Packers were kind of a lame game, but like against the Rams or against the Falcons earlier in the year, because like he plays well against good defenses sometimes, and then other times he crumbles and plays like Garbo. But we've seen more good Bryce than bad Bryce. I'm fascinated to watch this game. I'll be rooting for the Panthers. Do not get me wrong, because I really want to see this upset. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's go back to the AFC side of things. Talk Bills Jags. 6 seed Bills, 3 seed Jaguars. Is this the most pressure a 6 seed has ever been under? Because here's the narrative. No Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrow. Josh has to do it. There's no excuses anymore, this, that, and the other. I would argue this is probably one of his worst teams to play in the playoffs, and they also surrendered the AFC East. But unfortunately for Josh, that is the narrative, that they can't get it done and they have to get it done. And look at the teams that are in the playoff. How could they not get it done? And unfortunately, that's the mountain he has to climb, whether it's fair or not.
It is. Let me see really quickly. You got, shoot.
I would also like to add his numbers in the playoffs. I mean, he's one of the greatest postseason quarterbacks in the history of the NFL statistically.
He is. I mean, he's top 2 in like literally everything. I mean, they're one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, obviously. Saying they're the highest pressured 6 seed of all time is probably true, considering the fact that most 6 seeds have no pressure on them. I'm pretty sure the last 6 seed to go to a Super Bowl and also win a Super Bowl was the 2010 Packers. And I mean, we had a 6 seed in the championship game last year, so it's not impossible. I'm just saying. But you're right. This is a ton of pressure because Josh is kind of feeling like it's now or never. Is there ever going to be another year where the field is this weak? Not to disrespect the Patriots and the Broncos, or the Jaguars for that matter. But it's not a stack. They have the best quarterback, the most experienced quarterback. I mean, other than Rodgers.
Yeah.
They have the best quarterback in the playoffs. They have an elite run game. They have a really underrated secondary. Defensive front is not as strong as you want it to be, but I mean, man, the combination of Josh Allen, James Cook, that offensive line, and the secondary can win you playoff games, can get you far. And I like this matchup for Buffalo in particular because, yes, Jacksonville poses a threat on the ground with Travis Etienne and Bishop Tootin for that matter. Go Hokies.
A little Quint Allen sprinkled in there.
Has he played this year for them?
A little bit, mostly special teams.
I got you. Jacksonville rather is mostly an aerial attack. Like Trevor Lawrence has made his money this year because he's just throwing the ball all over the place. They got to contain Trevor Lawrence as a runner though, because he's been really dynamic with his legs as well, particularly in the red zone. But like Buffalo's defense needs to step up on the back end in a big way because Parker Washington and Jacoby Myers and Brian Thomas Jr. Like they've got guys that can beat you all over the field.
The acquisition of Jacoby Myers has been remarkable for them. And I mean, they've won 8 straight games, man. Trevor Lawrence is playing like insane. They've won 8 straight. Trevor Lawrence right now is playing like a top 3 quarterback in the league. I'm just saying, like the last 8 weeks, Lawrence is playing unbelievable football.
So that's how you win on defense. And then on offense, you kind of just got to let Josh be Josh. James Cook has to put in a good shift, which I think he will. I think it's impossible for James Cook to just be neutralized at this point. The run game is too big. I'm going to say this about everybody. They just got to protect the ball, and Josh needs to make a game-changing play because I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think either way this is a blowout for either side. I just think Jacksonville has been a better team. And but the problem is it's the playoffs. And sometimes you don't need to be a great team to win. You just need great quarterback play to win. I mean, like the Chiefs were fine last year, but it's Mahomes who put them over the top in those playoff games. Like conversely, if you have a really good team like the Eagles did last year, you can win the Super Bowl. But neither of these teams is last year's Philadelphia Eagles. I just think Jacksonville's defense has been playing really well. Like you said, they've won 8 straight going into this game. They're getting hot at the right time. I've seen Buffalo get in their own way too much this season. You know, like Philadelphia game really stands out in terms of recency. And it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. At the same time, this might be the most motivated you'll see Josh Allen in a really long time. Here's what I'll say. And I've told you this all week. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars win this game. But if the Bills win, they should go to the Super Bowl. Because, like, I'm not saying Jacksonville's their toughest test, but I'm saying all it takes is one win to galvanize the locker room. Get this one win, let Josh get that fire under him, and go. Go to the freaking Super Bowl.
Giving me some goosebumps, buddy.
I'm just trying to bring up the vibes, get the place jumping.
Here's what I think. I think that I heard Steve Tasker say this earlier this week, so I don't want to take credit for it, but I think it's a really good point. This Bills team started 4-0. So you got to think by week 5, they knew they were a playoff team. You don't start 4-0 and not go to the playoffs. Like, you knew you were a playoff team. And this is also a franchise full of players. Not all of them. Obviously, there's turnover every year. It's the NFL. But your main pieces, Josh, Shakir, Kincaid, Knox, James Cook, even like Trey White on defense, and Greg Rousseau, and Matt Milano, and whoever you want to name. Deion Dawkins, doesn't matter. They've been a part of these teams that continue to go to the playoffs year after year, right? So you get past that 4-0 start, you know you're going to the playoffs, hit like week 5, week 6. Every week just kind of feels monotonous. Once in a while, big game pops up. Chiefs game, okay, big game. All right, Eagles game, okay, big game, whatever. But you kind of get to week 5, and you're just waiting for the playoffs at that point, right? And that's kind of been Buffalo's MO. And that's probably how they wound up coughing up the division the way that they did, which is fine. But I just think that there's a gear that this team hasn't kicked it into because they've been waiting to get to the playoffs to do it. And you know Josh flips that switch come playoff time. We've never seen him play a bad playoff football game.
No.
You know, so I mean, I just think that they're about to kick it into a gear that we've quite literally yet to see. The same gear that if we have seen it, we see it in the Chiefs game. You know what I mean? Like when they always turn it up for that one. And I think that's the gear you're going to see him kick it into. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm worried about it. Don't get me wrong. Especially because the Jags have been solid at stopping the run. They have a good defense, but it's Josh Allen, man. It's the playoffs. There's not Patrick Mahomes standing across from him. And unless you're Joe Burrow once or Patrick Mahomes outside of that first playoff game he ever played in the wild card in Houston, nobody beats him. So I'm going to take Josh. I'm going to take Josh to get it done on the road. And then, yeah, watch out because if they get rolling, like I'm not worried about them playing New England. They already beat New England. They should have beaten them twice. They played one of their worst games of the year when they lost to them at home. I'm worried about Houston, but they might not even get matched up against Houston at this point.
That's right.
You know?
Did you know, what do you think is the highest rushing total a player has had against the Jags this year is? Not as a team, a single player.
A single player? I don't know.
74 yards. It was Jonathan Taylor. So we got to see it. Like, they got to be dominant in the run game. Not just good. They got to be great and let Josh Allen do the rest.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Doesn't help that they're getting a little thin on defense. No Maxwell Hairston is a bummer.
That'd be huge. Yeah.
That'll be a bummer. All right, let's move on. I know we're slightly pressed for time here. Let's go Eagles Niners. We got that one coming up 4:30 on Fox. That'll be on Sunday. Fired up for that one. Who do you like?
I like Philadelphia, and I think it's no question why the spread has been ballooning. It opened at like 3. You see it up to like 5 at some places now. It's just every time I open the books, it's going up, 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 up,
Yeah.
up, because San Francisco is so beat up
Per usual.
per usual, and you see these crazy flashes like the Bears game, for example, or the Colts game that are respectfully not sustainable.
Yep.
Then you see a game like the Seattle game for the 1 seed, and you're like, oh, this is what's going to happen when this team that's extremely shorthanded runs into an elite roster. And guess what San Francisco is going on the road and running into on Sunday afternoon? Arguably the best roster in the NFL.
Yeah.
So for me, so much of what this comes down to, like I said in the playoffs, is quarterbacks. But I'm not going to always pick the better quarterback. I'm taking Josh a billion times over Trevor, but I'm taking the Jags to beat the Bills. I'm taking Purdy a billion times over Hurts, but I'm taking the Eagles to win this game, and particularly because of their defense. Their defense, you saw it firsthand in the Bills game. It's playing out of their mind lately. They're peaking at the right time. They also rested everybody last week, whereas San Francisco really had to give it their all to win that game against Seattle, which they could only muster up 3 points. So really, the trend is completely riding with Philadelphia. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I do think Philadelphia wins and covers regardless. If this closes at 6, I even think Philadelphia covers. Like, I just think they're playing their best ball at the right time. And dude, this is a team that is 32nd in sacks against the Philadelphia offensive line. And remember, Seattle ran circles around them last week. I think Saquon has a big game. I think Hurts has a big game. I think the defense has the rest. This is an uphill battle to double-digit points if you're San Francisco, in my opinion. I think Philadelphia wins pretty comfortably.
San Francisco's game against Seattle, I felt like showed me pretty much everything I needed to know.
Like last year, the Vikings against the Lions.
Exactly.
And what happened? They went and got crushed.
100%. 100%. And shout out to, we're not going to talk about them much because they're the 1 seed, but shout out to Sam Darnold for vindicating that in a way, right?
Yes.
Because he's the one that blew it last year, and everyone's like, what happened to Sam? He was so good all year, loses that game for the 1 seed, gets bounced in the playoffs, first shot. Polar opposite this year, wins that game, gets the 1 seed. They're humming. So we'll see how that continues to play out for Seattle. So shout out to Sam Darnold. No, that game told me everything I needed to know. I thought about the Niners, and I was pretty high on the Niners. I really was, because I was just so impressed their ability to win, even when Purdy was out with Mac Jones. Like, dude, Kyle Shanahan is a quarterback guru.
He is.
It's unbelievable. Nobody's winning in Philly, though.
No.
You're talking 5 toughest places to play. You get 3 of them this weekend in Philly, Pittsburgh, and actually, I'm sorry you don't, because they're not going to Buffalo. But I mean, Philly's one of those places that you don't go win a playoff game with ease. I wouldn't be shocked if the snow's coming down. It's obnoxious in all the right ways. So I'm taking Philly to win that one. That's championship. Not that the Niners haven't been there before, because they have under Shanahan. They have, but when you're coming off the heels of a Super Bowl, you know what it takes to get there. And Sirianni's been there twice, won one. So there you go. Let's go Patriots Chargers. Got 8 o'clock coming up Sunday night football. New England's hosting a playoff game again. Drake May, is he the MVP? Chargers are going there. Harbaugh. This is a spicy one, bro. This is a good one.
It is.
I'm just gonna lay it out for you. Give me the Los Angeles Chargers to win this ball game. Dude, this is the marriage.
You're good. Harbaugh and Herbert.
You got me?
I got you.
You got me on my mic, though?
I don't think so.
All right, you take the reins for a second.
Okay. So you were going to say Harbaugh and Herbert, right? But we've seen we saw them in the playoffs together last year, and it ended kind of disastrously. Now, granted, that was against an elite defense in Houston. New England's defense is good, but not that good. So go ahead, expound.
No, I just think Harbaugh and Herbert, they got things humming. I love what they have in their weapons on this team. I also like on defense, even guys emerging like Marlo Wax at the linebacker spot. Shout out to the Syracuse football orange. He had a couple of big plays even last week and down the home stretch of this season. Like, I just think that New England, again, really good year. They played a last place schedule. They made the most of that last place schedule. Don't get me wrong, but we haven't seen them do it in the playoffs yet. It almost feels like they're like a year ahead of track, if not more than that, because I mean, there is something to be said for being the 2 seed, winning your division, hosting a playoff game.
14 wins.
It's more of a gut feel thing. It's not even a knock on the Pats. And maybe it's incredibly wishful thinking, hoping that the Bills are going to host an AFC championship game against the Chargers. You need the 7 to be alive for that to happen.
This is step one. I don't want to discount what New England did this year because, like you said, it was very impressive, but you can't ignore they played a historically easy schedule.
Yeah.
Drake May's probably the MVP.
And should be.
Weirdly enough, if I had a vote, I would seriously consider Justin Herbert for the MVP award, but I think he had too many stinkers. Just because their offensive line is
Stafford.
Their offensive line is terrible and obviously so beat up. They've had to deal with a total revolving door of moving parts on that side of the ball. And through it all, Herbert's been a constant and played through injury and really willed them to get to the playoffs. Similar to the Eagles, I like the fact that Los Angeles is coming off a week where they rested all of their starters against a team that really had to exert themselves kind of to try and get the 1 seed. Now, granted, they dispatched of the Dolphins very easily, did the Patriots, but I like the fact that the Chargers have that rest, especially coming all the way out to the East Coast. And I like the fact that Harbaugh's been there, done that. And again, I don't think that this is as tough of a test as they had last year going to Houston. But New England is a better team than I think we maybe even give them credit for. Their offensive line is excellent, the way that they rebuilt it in 1 year. Drake May is excellent. Obviously, they have 2 really good running backs. Their defense playing really well. Los Angeles doesn't have the offensive firepower that moves me in any way other than their quarterback. Keenan Allen's fine. Quentin Johnston's fine. Ladd McConkey's fine.
Oronde Gadsden.
Oronde Gadsden's fine. They've got good players, but on the flip side, distractions be damned. I'd rather have Stephon Diggs, and I'd rather have.
Is he playing, by the way?
I'm pretty sure he's good to go.
Okay.
Obviously, a lot of off the field drama.
The cook is not good to go.
It's tough. A little. The Diggs family had a rough couple weeks. This, in my opinion, is the biggest toss-up of the week. Because, all week I've thought, the Chargers are going to win this game. But the Patriots really have no business losing this game. The Patriots should lose this game. I would take the Chargers in the points. But I'm going to take the Patriots to win the ball game.
I don't know if anybody's got a better culture than what Vrabel's building in New England right now. And there's something to be said for that.
There is.
For sure. All right, I'll take the Chargers. You take the Pats. This is a coin flip game for me, though. I wouldn't be shocked either way. Totally. Last one to talk about, speaking of coin flip games, Bears-Packers in Chicago. 1.5 point spread. It's the smallest spread outside of the Bills-Jags game, which is also 1.5 in this wild card round. They are favoring Green Bay on the road. What do you think?
I think I get it. Because it's Vegas, but I don't get it because Green Bay is good.
They should have been the same without Parsons, though, at all.
And that's what I was gonna say. But they went to Chicago without Micah and should have won that game against Chicago in a game where Jordan Love didn't play for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
So Jordan Love's back. It's tough. It's tough because Chicago's playing good ball too, man. Their one loss in the last like
Playing
2
great
months was
ball.
at the death against San Francisco, a game that Caleb was playing fantastic,
He
and
played
Caleb's playing the
bonker.
best ball of his career lately. Um, Now granted, Chicago struggled last week against Detroit and then in their loss, and you never want to ride into the playoffs on a loss like that, but it didn't hurt them because Philly lost too because they were resting their starters against Washington. So you get the 2 seed. You'd rather be playing the 49ers and the Packers, don't get me wrong. But Soldier Field's going to be bumping. It's a tough place to play. Green Bay is so beat up.
Rivalry game.
It's not just a rivalry game, it's the
Yeah.
rivalry in the National Football League. So it's going to
Yeah.
be absolute cinema. I kind of hate that this game's on Prime. This should have been Burkhart and Brady, in my opinion, or at least Tirico and Collinsworth. I mean, giving us Michaels and Herbstreit's kind of wonky. But I don't know if you read the article that said that that this was every network's top choice, and they decided to throw Prime a bone by giving them like the marquee matchup of the week. And I get that if you're the NFL, but like,
Why? Why
really?
would you throw Prime the bone?
Because they need it more than anybody else does.
I guess. Do we have Nance Roma on the Bills Jags? I believe we do.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the only game on CBS.
Right.
So Davis and Olsen are doing the Rams Panthers game, and Burkhardt and Brady are doing
Oh,
the Eagles
Fox
49ers
has
game.
2 games because CBS has the Super Bowl this year. Is that what it is?
NBC has a Super Bowl this year, but the 2 games, that's a rotating thing.
Okay.
So like last year CBS had 2 games, if you recall.
Right. Right.
And then the year before NBC had 2 games. One was on Peacock, right? You had
Okay.
Browns, Texans, and Dolphins, Chiefs. Remember that was a Peacock
The
exclusive
Browns
in
made the playoffs last year. I forgot.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. I forgot all about that.
So it's a rotating schedule. So it was Fox's turn this year. But point being, this is going to be a hell of a game. I think it's close no matter what. I'm going to take the Bears just because they're the better team right now, man. They're
I'm taking the Bears.
healthier.
Yeah.
They are getting healthier. Like they get Odunze back in this game for whatever that's worth. I honestly think that there's a non-zero chance this is the last game Romo Odunze ever plays in a Chicago Bear uniform. Because I don't think that they like him at all, the Ben Johnson camp. But I understand why the Packers are favored in this game, but I'm not going to take them, man. They're too beat up. And Jordan Love's been good in the playoffs. It's Caleb's first playoff game. There's a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams here. First playoff game. Winner of this game gets bragging rights galore.
The place is going to be a zoo.
Place is going to be jumping. I just see Chicago, and I'm like, man, this is like a team that's totally inspired. It's a city that's totally inspired. They are.
I mean, the Bears are the 2 seed.
Yeah, they've got the pixie dust this year, bro. They've got the magic beans.
Well, and on top of it, it's actually crazy that the Packers surrendered this division, but they did.
I mean, when you consider the fact that they lost Parsons, I mean, what did the Packers lose 4 straight going into the playoffs? And they're still favored by 1.5. Like, I'm like, something doesn't smell right. So I like Chicago to win this game. I'm not sure that Caleb plays outstanding, but I think he plays similar to how he did in that that second Packers game, where like if a play needs to be made, he'll pick it up and make it against a shorthanded defense. And I honestly think it's Chicago's defense that makes the difference in this game. Get a couple takeaways out of Jordan Love, and who honestly has done a good job of protecting the ball this year. But I just think Chicago's the better team. I don't think they should be underdogs here, and I think they get the job done. I think Chicago wins, and you do too.
Yeah, I'm going Chicago as well. Awesome. Well, looking forward to a fun one. It all starts with the college football playoffs tonight. Where can the people find us, my friend?
Well, they can find us at Got It Covered FB on all socials. I think it's interesting, by the way. Did we disagree on every one of the games or no, you also have Houston beating Pittsburgh.
I have Houston. I have Buffalo. I have
the Chargers.
I have the Rams. We agreed on the Rams.
Right. We agreed on Rams, Eagles, Bears. So like we agree on 4, disagree on 2.
Yeah. So we agree on.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to take the Packers. All full transparency, but
I think the Bears could play for a Super Bowl. The way when the offense is on.
That's true. They can't play like they did against Detroit. But yeah, at Got It Covered FB on all socials. Plenty of NFL, college football content coming your way. Playoffs, national championship, Super Bowl. It's all happening. And we're back in action post-Christmas, post-New Year's. So Yeah, stay tuned for all the action and enjoy Super Wild Card Weekend if they still call it that, which I don't think they do because it's lame. If they do, that sucks on the part of the NFL, but it'll be fun. So excited.
And as always, we got you covered.